Hello, everyone. My name is Juliet Ambali, and it's such a pleasure to have you here on this channel today. Now, if this video maybe suddenly appears on your timeline or you have subscribed to this channel, it's for a purpose. It's not by accident at all. All right. It's very intentional. In fact, God is very mindful of you that this video is airing now and you're able to see this now before year 2026 comes. And the reason is that there are certain things that you need to leave behind with 2025. As 2025 is rolling away, these things need to remain here with 2025 while you separate yourself from them and move on to 2026. Now, I'm going to be sharing 10 key things. I'm sure that there are several, but personally, I believe that when it comes to improvement and development, do them one step at a time, little by little, rather than trying to do so many things at once. But when you're taking care of one area, developing the other area, you see that you'll be a whole lot better rather than you trying to do so many things at once. So I'm just sharing 10 key things that I believe if you are able to be mindful of ensuring that these things don't follow into 2026, there will be a whole lot of improvement in year 2026. And that's my desire for you. So stay tuned and learn, enjoy. Now, the first tip is don't measure your life against other people's timelines, especially for the fact that right now, a huge portion or a huge chunk of our lives is online on social media. There's that tendency to want to compare, to want to say, oh, why is my life not like this person's life? Why are things not working out well for me, just like it's working out well for this person? Understand that you'll be doing yourself a whole lot of disservice when you compare yourself, when you compare your life with other people. It's very important that you leave this behavior in 2025. Understand that progress means different things to different people. Somebody's progress may have been occurring 10 years even before you started seeing the manifestation online. You just imagine that suddenly they just, got whatever it is that they got or attained that position that they have currently, shared online for everybody to rejoice and celebrate with them. But it may have been hard work from a couple years before you saw the final results. So it's very important that you don't compare yourself with someone else's timeline, with someone else's progress. In fact, what you imagine may be slow and taking forever to materialize for you is progress in itself, is success in itself. That process alone is such a big deal and it's not something you should trivialize at all. So it's very important that in year 2026, please ensure that you have left that behavior behind and you'll be glad for it, trust me. So the second thing that you need to be mindful of in year 2026 and that you need to leave behind in year 2025 is always waiting for that perfect time before you start anything. Trust me, there will never ever come that perfect time where you think you'll be able to start doing whatever it is that you want to do and succeed at it. In fact, starting when it doesn't feel perfect is the best way so that you begin to learn and fail earlier rather than waiting for that perfect time and then making a very huge mistake. So it's very important that as much as possible, don't wait for when you think, oh, I need to get all of these resources first, or if I don't have this particular thing, I don't think to be good enough for me to start, or I need people to come and help me sponsor XYZ before I start, or I need this huge amount of capital for me to be able to start. No, don't do that to yourself at all. There is no perfect time. Now is the next perfect time that you're looking for. So whatever it is that you've been stalling on, you've been waiting for, you've been, pushing and saying, okay, I'll wait till XYZ. I'm sure that that's when I'll be able to give it my best. No, don't do that. Now, like right away, start as soon as you're done watching the video, start mapping out the action plan. Start writing down the things, the steps you're going to take to be able to see that thing come to fulfillment. Now, the third thing that you need to be mindful of is not carrying guilt from lessons that you've already learned on and on and on and on. Now, as humans, we tend to make mistakes, but then you realize you've made a mistake already. Why beat yourself again and again and again? Why carry guilt for months, for years on ending? Please just let it roll away with 2025. Mistakes are meant to be lessons, they're meant to be experiences, things that you learn rather than things that would be part of the things you are regretting and holding against yourself for so long that it even keeps you stagnant, or it even holds you, has you on chokehold. Don't do that to yourself at all. It's very important that in year 2026, if you make mistakes, when mistakes happen, learn from it. That's one thing. Not like you shove it away and say, well, I'm human, I make mistakes. No, learn from it, but then let it end there. Don't let it make you go on and on with guilt and endlessly, feeling bad and hurting yourself just because you made a mistake. And ensure that you are able to differentiate between making a mistake or it being just a thing of character, so that you know what it is that you're working on. So it's very important to be mindful of that. Now, the fourth thing that you need to do away with or to stop with year 2025 is saying yes out of fear. So because you don't want to hurt somebody, you don't want someone else to feel bad, you rather prefer that you do whatever it is, even though you are feeling resentment, you feel hurt, you know, or you are doing it out of a place of fear. Don't do that to yourself. If you don't want to do something, politely say no, I don't want to do this thing. Set healthy boundaries. All right. But then just so you people please everybody that comes your way, just so that everybody is in good standing with you. But the reality is that these people are not really even in good standing with you. They just realize that you're somebody who doesn't even respect yourself. Okay. So respect yourself by saying no when you know that you obviously cannot do that thing. When you know that saying yes is against your will, you really don't want to say yes to that thing, say no, especially as long as it's not displeasing to God. That's the most important thing. As long as it's not displeasing God, say no when you need to say no. So, somehow related to the previous point, another thing you should do with that, you should put away with the outgoing year, is you wanting to overwork so that you can prove a point. You taking on so many responsibilities so that everybody can see that, oh, such a responsible person. But then what happens? You're burnt out, you're tired, you can't help it. In fact, you're not even as productive as you will be if you know the things that you need to focus on, so that you do them, and so that you gain a whole lot from the little that you are doing. Don't try to prove anything to anybody other than maybe yourself and God. But then trying to involve yourself in so many things and not getting any result out of them is overworking yourself. And so in year 2026, be intentional about the things that you want to involve yourself in. Ensure that you understand the goal for why you're getting yourself into those things in the first place. When you know why you are getting yourself into those things in the first place, it helps you have clarity around those things. And then you are better at those things. You are not burdened. You are able to even balance the work that you're doing from those things and rest. Do you understand? So it's very important that you don't try to overwork yourself so that you are proving a point. Yes, I can do all things. I know that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. But balance, balance, okay? Balance is very important. Sixth point that you need to be mindful of in year 2026, and that you also need to, put an end to in year 2025, is ignoring your body signals. When you're feeling some sort of way physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, don't ignore those things. They are like red lights, they are pointers, they are giving you a warning, telling you that you need to check those areas. Don't ignore any sign at all. You notice that you are constantly having a particular ache in one part of your body, or you are constantly um, feeling struggle to come out of bed to do what you normally do every single day, or you're finding it very difficult to come to the place of communicating with God, maintaining your relationship with God, or you just notice that you just always have crying spells. You're always crying for every single thing. You're always feeling sad. Don't ignore those things. When your body is telling you those things, when you see all of those signals, hold them and look into them to see how you can navigate your way around them to getting back into ensuring that you are well regulated, whether it's emotionally, spiritually, physically, or in any aspect of your life generally. All right. So it's very important. Don't ignore those signals. They're telling you something. Listen. Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to your mind. Pay attention to your overall well being, and you'll be better off for it. So, the seventh thing that you need to be very mindful of is silent resentment. Now, this is something that you don't want to carry on with in year 2026. One thing that I've learned about, holding on to things just so that, peace can reign, keeping things to your mind, putting things under the carpet, not talking about that thing with that friend of yours that hurts you would only increase the ongoing resentment rather than solve that situation. Many times people try to hold back. I think that conflicts are a normal part of how we interact with each other as humans. But then I think that society defines conflict in a way that is so unhealthy that people don't know how to be creative about handling conflict. Now, conflict is not being abusive, whether it's physically, emotionally, no, and all of that, not at all. But then you may be in situations where you are not in agreement with somebody's opinion, for instance. How do you navigate that thing? Do you just rather you be silent, say, okay, all right, whatever, anything goes? No, don't do that because you'll be feeling hot. So it's better that you have conversations around that thing, sort it out, and know that you and that person are on a good state, you're on a clean slate, rather than just holding up. Because one day you'll be able to take it anymore and you just realize that you burst out. So it's important that when there's something that is feeling naughty in your chest and you can't, rather than just stay there and stifle yourself in silence, talk about that thing. All right, talk about it. Another thing that you need to be very mindful of in year 2026 that you need to stop doing with this year as it goes out is to not just consume information. We're in the information age, yes, we know. But then, with what you have consumed, what are you creating from what you have consumed? Are you watching videos? Are you reading materials? Are you scrolling through people's captions and learning just for the sake of doing them? Or are you implementing those things that you're learning practically in your life to see growth, to see improvement, to see development occurring? So it's very important. Don't just be intentional about what you are consuming. That's one. But then ensure that whatever it is you're consuming are things that you are implementing so that you are seeing results. Because you would consume so much, so many materials on finance, for instance, but then you've not taken the action or the step to seeing how you can improve on it. Do you understand? So it's very important. Yes, consume moderately, consume the right things, but then put to action the things that you are learning. Very important. Okay. Another thing that you need to be very mindful of stopping in 2025 and not taking with you to 2026 is delayed obedience. Delayed obedience is still the same as disobedience. That's one of my mentors, not directly, Elizabeth Elliot would say in her teachings. Delayed obedience is still disobedience. Now, in year 2026, God is going to share with you certain things. He's going to point to you into certain directions. He's going to open up certain relationships for you. But then, or he's going to even ask you to come out from certain things. But then delaying obedience into doing those things that God wants you to do is the same as disobedience. And it's you saying, well, I get it, God, you are sovereign, you know all things, but then I don't really believe because I cannot practically see why I should do this or why I shouldn't do this. That's where our trust and faith in God comes to play. It's very important that we don't delay in obeying God. As we're entering this new year, be very discerning, be very alert, and surrender totally to obeying recklessly, obeying even when you don't understand, obeying even when it doesn't make any sense. Just know that no one who puts their trust in God will ever be disappointed. That's one thing that I know for sure. And so it's very important that in year 2026, run away from delayed obedience because there's always consequences that would follow. All right. Now, lastly, last but not least, don't believe that it's too late to start again. Don't make that mistake at all. Don't make that mistake at all. It doesn't matter how many times you've tried and tried and tried. And then you now come to this point where you're like, it's too late. Whether age wise, whether the length of time that you've been invested in doing that thing, or what have you, you now think, it's too late for me to start that business. It's too late for me to go back to school. It's too late for me to apply for that program. It's too late. It's too late. Who made you timekeeper over your life? All right. Don't do that to yourself at all. Nothing is too late. The moment you decide to start is the start time. All right. Don't put marks on your own life. Don't say, oh, when it's at this point, when I've gotten to this age, doing that kind of thing now is just a waste of my time. Don't do that to yourself at all. Okay? Don't do that to yourself at all. Not there's no time that is too late. If you really, really, really want to do it, trust me. Or if you've really, really motivated yourself, if you cannot motivate yourself internally, get external sources of motivation. If you really, really are motivated to do that into doing that thing, don't worry, you'd see that age or time will not even be the thing that bothers you. But many times it's because you're afraid, or it's because you believe what the society says about timing, or it's because you don't even believe in that thing at all in the first place. So that's why. So if those are your excuses, well, then I don't know. But if you really want to see growth, development, change, if you really want to achieve that thing, trust me, it's never too late for you to start. Okay. So I'm wishing you all of God's best. And I'm praying that by the special grace of God, you stop some of these habits or all of these habits and you see what 2026 is going to look like. All right. Take good care of yourself. Until next year. Bye. Yeah, before you go, don't forget to share this. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and share your comments. This YouTube channel is not unidirectional. I don't only want to be the one sharing with you. I'm sure that there's so much that everyone can learn from you. Yes, you watching. So please drop your comments and share what are your views concerning this topic so that we can also learn from you as well. All right? Thank you so much. Until next time. Bye.